Hey, howdy, it's me, Magmar, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Art Villa, found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today I'm coming to you again. I want to thank everybody that left a comment on the last video. It was there's so many health issues that I'm just like, it just runs you down. And you get older and your younger brother dies and you outlive your dad, and it's great. It's not great. What's great is that you can survive it and go on. This was a terrible way to start this video. It's mentally challenging, especially then you start falling apart. Personally, it's going to happen. You ought to just like sit back and enjoy the ride. You should do that anyway. I can't explain it. I got records. How about that? That's right, stories. So what happened recently that, well, I had a thing on the face and that went on forever and it was horrible, and the plastic surgeon, and then my shoulder worked on. Of course, that's more mechanical, and, kind of figured it all out and went through it. And then I got another abscess in a place that I can't show you. Far more common, and I guess they're really common. So I ended up going to the priority care, which is like a doctor in a box, I call it. It's not an emergency room. Much nicer. Oh man, when I went to the emergency room for this thing, I should have gone to the urgent care. Did I say that? Was there a priority care? I guess it's part of the network I'm in. Real nice doctor, got right in, during the day. He's like, well, I don't think it's going to be, it doesn't look like that, And I said, that's what they said about the face. He goes, well, I don't know if I should cut into it, or if you want me to, I will. And I'm like, going into the weekend and what I had to do. I said, just go ahead. Just cut into my ass. Oh, that's right. You said it. So he did it and squeezed and squeezed. Of course, he numbed it. Boy, that needle. And it's like, then he shows me the wad of blood, and he didn't get anything out the culture. I'm like, oh, jeez. So then I got a hole in my butt, and it's like about 3/8 of an inch, I guess. And then about 3 or 4 days later, my wife, I can't see it. I've never seen whatever it is, baby. I can't see it. I once tried to see it, but then I got a cramp in my chest from bending over weird. This is why you come. This is why you don't want me to go away, right? Or that you do want me to go away. Oh, it's a 50-50. That's a 50-50 answered question. So anyway, so she's like, my wife is a nurse, right? She's like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. Oh, this looks horrible. Oh, you might have to go to the emergency room. I'm like, shut the hell up. Don't. So then finally I call. Then I tried to call the dermatologist, and they're like, the first time I tried to call, they did 2 days, they didn't respond, and she had to go somewhere, and then they called and said, well, we'll squeeze you in if okay, fine. So this comes up, and I call them, and they're like, well, come in like 11 days. I'm like, in 11 days, I might be in the emergency room having half of my ass removed. So that's when it came to, I don't know what, I don't use the health system. I haven't my whole life, really, up until the past couple of years. So then I could go, the urgent care thing, which is not the frickin' emergency room. So they took care of it. So anyway, then I called the primary, and he couldn't see me, and like, oh boy, if this antibiotic runs out, it doesn't appear like it's working, and so I go in there and I say, oh, what about it? I'm not paranoid, like, oh, this and this and this and this, and is there some kind of immune system disorder or something? Well, no, when you did your shoulder, we tested for your blood and everything's fine. But then I said, well, the gym? And she goes, yeah, probably the gym. She goes, but don't stop working out. So anyway, she did give me a stronger antibiotic to start, so that says something. So then she says, well, just keep an eye on it, because if you get a fever or something, this could be serious. I figured that. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, let's go right to the records. Was there anything else? Oh, records. So because I've been running around to these places I don't normally go out of my, my habit, creature of habit, the places I do go. I stopped at a record store I haven't been in a long time. And it used to be next to it's still next to a St. Vincent de Paul, but the St. Vincent de Paul is gone. And that store has been there for as long as I've been here, at least 30 years, I think. It's gone. The guy was still there. He was the original guy, and then I guess he was sold the store on a contract, some kind of contractual basis to some other kid who came in and used to play really loud music when you'd go in and you'd have a headache. And then he came back because the kids apparently was having streetwalkers in, having parties with prostitutes, and couldn't keep up the contract, so he got the store back. So he's been working it for a couple years. So he remembers me. I've been in there a number of times. So he told me that there's another store down the street, record store. And then there's another one over somewhere in Covington. And there's a book. He pulls out a book. He goes, there's a whole book on record stores in the area. Because I think they sell it down the street. I'm like, oh. I've just walked down within a block. I walk down, and so I walk in. It's big room. Big room. All the way in the back, there's like a kitchen set up with a counter. It's just going to serve espresso there, right? I'm just too old for this. Anyway, so then they've got albums lining both sides of this room, but then a big open space in the middle. You never see that in a record store. Every space is crammed with, usually, with crates and stuff. So they have these dollar bit crates underneath that are hard to get to, underneath the one side, and all the records are worn out. And it's interesting because it's, kids are younger these days because they're young kids, young adults. They're just not, it's not the music that I look for, all that's like thrown in something called oldies, right? And they were playing heavy metal music really loud, like, oh my God, it was torture to try to go through the racks, like, that's right. Not that there's anything wrong with that, except loud, very loud. Okay, well, where did this come from? Well, this came from, I went to another two records. No, yeah, the other, not the one that, never mind, it doesn't matter. So this was fun. It's a picture disc. Very colorful picture discs. It has this folder, the original folder, so the picture just shows through this folder. Recorded in Hawaii. It looks kind of modernish from the standpoint of how the package is printed. But the photograph doesn't look all that modern. So it's hard for me to get a handle on. It's processed in Japan. I don't know, it's just fun. It's just fun. And it wasn't all that expensive. This was way more than I wanted to spend on any record. Well, almost any record. Shelly Manne and his friends, Andre Previn and Red Mitchell. Shelly Manne drums. It's a fun cover of these guys sitting around these telephones. It'd be Shelly Manne, Andre Previn, and Red Mitchell. It must be. There they are on the cover. Well, that was worth the price of admission. 1959 on this one. Could be interesting. Jazzy. I would expect it to be jazzy. Speaking of jazz, it's a double record set on Decca. Dave Brubeck, Light in the Wilderness. Together with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, so it's got a local connection for me. So the Ohio, Miami Music University a cappella singers. This could be very interesting. Looking forward to listening to that. On RCA Victor from 1957 for $1. Yay! It's Mambo on Broadway, Tito Puente and his orchestra. Nice find. Alright. Now from the dollar bin of the record store I stopped in today, that haven't been there in forever, it's Tommy Oliver and his orchestra, Rock in the 50s on Warner Brothers. Don't know anything about him, but I'll be finding out. 1958 all the way back to 1958, so he was rocketed even while the 50s were going on. I hope I don't have this. I've seen the cover before. It's a religious album. but it's got an anti-war. I'm assuming it's anti-war. You can't end war without war. Oh, that's so heavy. Oh, man. Is that the name of the album? Well, stop. Oh, it's just a little poem there. Never mind, go on. Okay, an import on Polydor. It's Lande Gisler. Guitar a la carte. And because Ray Martin has something to do with this, there's a woman, vocalist, Ruby Murray, the voice of Ireland. It's Ray Martin with Ray Martin's orchestra, so I have no idea. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's going to be a little more pop oriented than folk. I don't know. Ray Martin, a great composer, arranger, etc., etc. Okay. And it's Morton Gould makes the scene. Here's Morton Gould trying to keep current by doing covers of your popular songs like Eleanor Rigby, I'm a Believer, those two. And not a bad looking cover, not too bad. I clean it up a little bit. I have a secret that I before I scan these, because of some of the shelfware shows up, not the really harsh stuff, but some of the minor, like just that glossy finish is gone. If I take it, spray a little WD-40 in a paper towel and go over it, it makes it so nice to scan. And the WD-40, I think, seems like it's not going to hurt anything, and it dries up. You know, it's an agent that goes away and doesn't. I hope. Anyway, West of the Moon, it's Lee Wiley with the Ralph Burns Orchestra. West of the Moon. The Norman Newell Orchestra, I have no idea. Norman Newell, I Gave My Love a Flower. Shadow of Your Smile. The theme from Mondo Cane. Groovy cover. 1001 Nighters. Ralph Flanagan. It probably sums up his career. Like, oh my God. We have to play this set again. Oh, the bus ride was horrible. 1956. Ralph Flanagan. We drove overnight. I didn't get any sleep. I got the flu. Now I got to go out and entertain these people. Where did I put my heroin? I can't do another stop without a little helper. Can't entertain without help. Being a musician's a rough life. I've learned that from studying all this. Dancing on Park Avenue, Tony Cabot and his orchestra. Right. One thing I've learned from probably 6,000 to 8,000 albums, more than that because a lot of them I didn't blog, is reading the information, is that it's always like, oh, started playing violin or piano or whatever it was at 4 years old, child prodigy. So it's like, if you're not a child prodigy and not creating stuff when you're 4 years old and the bar down the street wants, you know, to pay you to play the piano when you haven't even turned 10 yet, you're still going to have a hard time. They had a hard time succeeding, so I can't be any different today. So, just rough out there. It's rough out there, that's right. Did I have this one up? Dancing in the Dark, Tony Cabot, on Park Avenue, 1958. I couldn't remember. Another great cover, I may have this one, but I just picked it up again. It was $1. Relax with Herbert Victor. Nice cover. Nat Adderley, autobiographic. Oh my God. Jive Samba, there's a samba on this. I also realized that the samba is one of my favorite musical forms. Whenever I put on a samba record, I just kind of, you know, can't help myself. The Big Voice of Barnum, HB that is. I don't know who that is. But what does he do? 1962, I think. Boy, that's some small type. The Little Spanish Town, After the Lights Go Down, Sweet Sue, Just You, I have no idea. And on CTI, probably a million of these records have been sold, but 1971, a George Benson album, White Rabbit. It's $1. It looks clean. Got a lot of good players on it. This looks like it has pen and ink writing on it, but it doesn't. It's all printed on top of this thing, on top of the photograph. It's Pianorama with Jerry Caraetta. Never heard of him. They're all medleys. Oh, it's so annoying. So whenever I blog a record like this and I put the song list down, if it's like a medley, I mean, I have to type in all this giant block. Oh, I'm just going to complain now. Summertime, The Three Sons. There's an excellent Three Sons cover, and I don't have this one from 1956. The Three Sons. Awesome. Here's another nice cover. The beautiful strings of the, I never tried to pronounce this, Mela Shrink Row string. Oh my God, what, 1956, nice cover. And for $1, Ha Cha Cha, it's Manny Lopez and his orchestra, Cha Cha Choppy Please. Fun, huh? 1957. Les Elgart, nice cover. I don't have this one. Just One More Dance. Then it looked like he gave up on gospel, but he found this for $1. Helen and Billy Scott. And no photographs on the back, unfortunately, but you never know what you're going to hear. It's also local on Jewel. Did I say that? For $5. $5, I'll just throw it away after I destroy it. There's a local angle here. No, it's not. It's the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Sorry, I thought it was Cincinnati. It's not. It's a symphony orchestra with the Saunter Finnegan Orchestra Concerto for Jazz Band, right? Um, 1955. I'm not sure what to make of this. Right? It almost looks like a split album between the two. It may be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it may be a split. Actually, probably wouldn't be too uncommon for a symphony to make an album with a split theme like that. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Yeah, look at that. Oh, awesome. Deep in a Drum. It's the Eddie Kano and his sextet. This should be a lot of fun. Shorty Rogers produced this, so he produced a lot of good stuff from that time. And last but not least, not that the set's going to be worth listening to, although the first band is titled Strange Music. On ABC Paramount is Stairway to Paradise. Valentino, his piano and orchestra. A terrific Cheesecake cover. Just terrific. Fun to find. Fun find to find. Wow, it really itches for some reason right now. I guess that's a good thing. Starts itches. And it hasn't slowed me down at all. And totally, when I stand up, I don't even notice it, except maybe for the itching. So I'm just in the gym, I'm just always scratching while I'm doing stuff. No, I'm not. I've been a lot more careful. It's so hard to, like, just focus on not touching, using your hands and then washing them, or using the alcohol thing. Because I've known this ever since I went there. Just no matter who wipes the machines, or if you wipe the machine, there's all these knobs and handles, and it's just impossible to avoid germs there. You just got to take it as it comes. So that's why I'm in such a good mood, even though I've got a big hole in my butt. Because, you know, it's just, it just happens, and there's no good way to end this video. I know that. I got to turn the thing off and go upstairs and play the musical sample.